Hillary Clinton promised to put coal miners out of business in 2016, but today, former Vice President Joe Biden has a different message for them. Learn to code.
Asked me toward the end of our administration, Joe's going to determine what the jobs of the future are. Anybody who could go down 300 to 3,000 feet in a mine, sure and hell can learn how to program as well. Anybody who can throw coal into a furnace can learn how to program, for God's sake.
Well, our next guest has nearly 40 years experience in the coal mining industry and says Biden is selling miners short. Chris Hamilton is the Senior Vice President of West Virginia Coal Association, and he joins us now. Chris, so the Vice President certainly selling coal miners short. How do you react to that?
Well, it's more of the same. It's just inconceivable how someone, particularly in his position, could advocate putting tens of thousands of working Americans out of work. But it comes as no surprise. Former Vice President Biden has repeatedly demonstrated his disdain for mining and for our coal miners.
Chris, it's so condescending, too. I guess he's trying to give a compliment, but he's like, anybody can throw coal into a furnace. I mean, of course, then they can also learn to code. But to your point, this is not something he's saying accidentally. He said it much before. Watch.
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No. No one's going to build another coal burning. We've got to shut the ones down we have. But no one is going to build a new one.
As president, would you be willing to sacrifice some of that growth, even knowing potentially that it could displace thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of blue-collar workers in the interest of transitioning to that greener economy?
The answer is yes.
He's been consistent here, Chris.
He has. He started in July, and again, he's repeated that in September and last week, and again this week. And it's just so unfortunate. But it doesn't come as any surprise. But former Vice President Biden served alongside of President Obama, and along with Secretary Clinton, and I think their views on coal and fossil fuels generally are pretty well established.
Where are they coming from, Chris? Is this just an obsession with this green future where everyone's coding and eating kale? What's the mindset that says these good-paying jobs that fuel our country, that we continue to require, need to go? And we'll replace them. The government somehow is going to train all these people for new jobs that don't currently exist.
Hey, listen, these coal miners absolutely love what they do, and they recognize the importance and value. It's a very honorable profession. Our miners are very highly skilled at what they do. They do it with great pride and sophistication, and they're technologically advanced. Vice President Biden is correct in that regard. But again, it's just so unfortunate that someone in his position would advocate putting tens of thousands of hardworking Americans out of work. It's just inconceivable to us.
Yeah. Well, Chris, we thank you for your opinion. That's certainly not a great way to get some voters in West Virginia.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. Thank you, Chris.